Not gonna lie guys, I am actually very much behind on my movies and TV series to watch. I'm gonna try and catch up. But I just came back from watching Death of a Unicorn by Alex Sharfman, starring Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd, and basic synopsis of the story. A dad and her daughter, Dad and his daughter are going to go to this mansion for something to do with his work. During the way, they ran into a unicorn and they thought it was dead. It turned out that it wasn't, but then they suddenly killed it, and then they put it in the car, and then they act like everything's normal, but then the thing comes back to life while they're at the mansion of the Leopolds, who own like this big pharmaceutical company, and it looks like Paul Rudd is their lawyer or something like that. Leopolds find out that they have a unicorn, and apparently they find out very quickly that it has healing powers, so they want to use it, you know, to their full advantage. But things are not what they seem, and that unicorn has friends, and they're gonna come and rescue, and you know what it is. Start with some of the positives. Jenna Ortega definitely carries the movie with as little material as she has to work with. It's a fine performance. I didn't hate her at all. Paul Rudd, he was non-existent in this movie. He played the dad that just doesn't give a damn, and yeah, he barely said anything in this movie or did anything interesting in this movie in any way, shape, or form. Honestly, forgettable. They were fun to look at here and there. The scientists were very funny here and there, but nothing really special other than that. Unicorns with the tapestries and all the history. I like that. I like bringing folklore. I haven't checked if that's actually true or not, but I do like that kind of stuff, bringing in folklore into different stories. I'm always into that. I think it's great. The look of the unicorns themselves looked fantastic. You know, they didn't look like horses with a horn. They actually look like unicorns. And the design of them were pretty interesting. So overall in that department, that was pretty cool. Now, I am gonna go with some of the negatives in this movie. This movie needed to be funny, and it wasn't. The first act, holy God, I don't know what happened. None of the jokes were hitting in any way. The theater was dead silent in the first act, and I'm not exaggerating. It was bad. It did improve in the second and third act. Like, I did start to giggle a lot when the second and third act happened, but ooh, it took a while for them to get there, huh? Same thing happened with the visuals. The visuals were questionable in the first act, but then after, in the second and third act, they definitely looked a little bit better. And I say that very loosely. Can we all just say this? This is not a horror movie. Can we stop saying that this is a horror movie? What is horror about this? Ooh, it startled you, therefore it's horror? Give me a break. Like, am I the only one? Feel the connection between Jenna Ortega's character and Paul Rudd's character, you know, the father and daughter relationship, which is like, you know, I'm a daddy's girl. You would think that they'd be able to pull that out very easily, but not at all. And there's a couple of scenes that are supposed to be emotional, and I was just bored half the time, to be frank. Yeah, overall, this is not a movie that I hated watching. I wouldn't have watched this in theaters, to be honest. I would recommend just watching them on streaming, but it's not a terrible movie. I didn't hate it. It might fall into the category it's so bad it's good movies. I don't know, it depends on what people think. But again, I wasn't mad that I saw it. It was just like not the greatest movie at all, and quite forgettable, to be honest. I forgot already half of it. This movie, a 4 out of 10. It might be closer to a 5 than a 3, but I sit comfortably at a 4 out of 10. At least that's my review for now. Also, I don't know why I'm not a big fan of Paul Rudd. I never liked him. I still don't. I don't know why. I like them somewhat in the Ant-Man, but other than that, I just find his face very, just like, you know, just, we're not gonna get along, huh? Okay guys, that's my short review. I do have a couple other reviews coming out about a couple series. I did start watching The Last of Us Season 2, and oh boy. I'll see y'all for the next one though, okay? Bye guys.